Good afternoon, Krystallo. How are
Good
you?
af- Good afternoon, Jack. I'm very well. How are you?
Good. Well rested after the Easter break, I hope.
Yeah, yeah, definitely recharged. And you?
Excellent. Yeah, batteries are recharged. Somewhat, perhaps not all the way, but definitely, definitely good. Welcome, guys. If you are new to the channel, my name is Jack, and we have the lovely Krystallo with us.
Hello. And we're crystal clear English.
We're Crystal Clear English, and we're back with another episode of the Newsletter Companion, where we're going to go through our newsletter and to the subject of last week's newsletter, Euromaxing, Crystal.
Mm. I have to say, I really enjoyed Euromaxing last week. Really did. Would you like to explain what Euromaxing is to our audience, Jack?
Well, we have maxing. There's this, I think it's like an internet thing, really, but maxing seems to be like maximizing, basically. So Cristallo is someone. I don't think Cristallo does this, but there's this thing on the internet, Cristallo, of looks maxing. People trying to maximize their looks. You have looks maxing. You have what other ones? Health maxing, style maxing. There you are, Stella. You'd like a style max, so good.
Yeah.
So,
It's all about
Euro maxing
Euromaxing
is
is trying to maximize everything that Europe has to offer. Or I enjoy Europe to the maximum, isn't it? Like make the most of it. And for me, Euromaxing is enjoying a cup of coffee or a glass of wine or whatever uh, at a square in Italy or in Spain. Love it. Love it. And that's exactly what we did last week, isn't it, Jack?
it is it is indeed, as well as other things.
Did you
Um,
enjoy your Euromaxing, Jack?
did I enjoy Euromaxing? Of course, I enjoyed it. Had a very nice time. Thank you, Cristana. It was great. And I came across something. I was talking to a student recently about this. But have you ever heard of there is something called Florence syndrome, Cristana?
Ooh, no, I haven't. Go ahead. Tell me.
So, I mean, it's got a more technical term. I think the more technical term is Stendhal syndrome. But basically, it's a condition where you feel physically and emotionally overwhelmed, basically, by art, architecture, beauty.
Yes,
So,
that's
yeah,
great that you used the word overwhelmed because I'm going to come back to that later.
come
Uh,
back to it in a second.
yeah, yeah. I have to say, yeah. Okay. All right, all right.
So anyway, so we went to a few places. We went to no, I want to say Girona, but it's not Girona. We went to Genoa.
General.
We went to Genoa, and then we went to Florence, and we went to Rome. We went to Florence, and I've been there a couple of times before, but this is the first time I saw Michelangelo's David, and wow, something else, absolutely something else. Now, Florence syndrome, it says, Cristallo, you can have like a rapid heartbeat, sweating, all of these sort of things. This is not what happened to me, but
Okay.
I just felt like a complete sense of calm looking at this statue. And this is not something that I thought would happen. Like really, really not. I mean, I'm just looking at a piece of marble, but I was asking ChatGPT, why do I feel this way looking at just at a statue? And it was saying the proportions are so like perfect, that your brain doesn't really have to do any like heavy lifting, so to speak. There's no cognitive load. It's really like it's really easy on the brain. And yeah, I was stood there for like half an hour, wasn't I?
Mm, you were really awed. You were. That's the word I would use, awed.
In awe. Yeah, absolutely. And so yeah, Florence was fantastic, and Rome is a little bit hectic. But Cristalla, tell me about being overwhelmed. What is this?
That's one of the things I want to come back to later, if you don't mind. Let's
Okay.
talk about what you've mentioned about the things you want to avoid, something to avoid. Common mistake. I have more quality of life.
Tengo más calidad de vida, ¿no?
Yeah, that's what people would say, but that's not all we say because you don't have more. It's not like quantity. What you do is you have a better quality of life. So, yeah,
So
like
it's
you want to
mejor
have
calidad. Yeah, exactly. I have a better quality of life. Not I have more quality of life, but I have a better quality of life.
exactly.
Something subtle there. And the business expression was trade-offs, Krista.
What's a trade-off, Jack?
Trade-off, well, it's a decision where gaining one advantage means that you have to accept a disadvantage, right?
Yep. The trade-off is a
So
disadvantage.
yeah, so whatever you get, even if this is a positive thing for you, there is going to be some sort of disadvantage. So it's a trade-off.
Yeah. So you
So
have to like accept it in a way. It's like a trade. You take the good things, but you also have to take the trade-offs.
what's that like? There's like a triangle. You can choose two of three. It's like if
Mm.
you have it cheap, fast, or of quality,
But
right?
you can't have all three.
You can't have all three, right? This is the point. You've got to. There's always going to be a trade-off. There's always going to be something that you have to accept as a disadvantage, right?
Hmm. What I wanted to talk about, coming back to that thing, it's one of my favorite things to teach is a simple prefix. Actually, two. Over and under before a word. It could be a verb, it could be an adjective. And this over and under describes excess or more than expected or deserved, over. And with under is less than expected or deserved. So, for example, when you said, Jack, overwhelmed, and the opposite is underwhelmed, is when things are too much. It's just either too much stimulus, or there's too much information, or there's just something is too much, and you feel that it's too much to take in. And the opposite, underwhelmed, is when you're not really impressed enough. So, Jack, were you overwhelmed or underwhelmed when you
Well,
saw?
certainly more overwhelmed than underwhelmed. It definitely wasn't underwhelmed. But you could go to a restaurant and how was the food? A little bit underwhelming, right? You could say
Exactly,
that.
exactly. Now, I want to
Disappointing.
point out that not all the words that have the prefix over also have the prefix of under, because some of them just doesn't make sense. For example, overcrowded. You can't really have undercrowded because the moment you say crowd implies too many people. So, or over exaggerate. You can't really under exaggerate, can you? You just
But it's also interesting that some words you could, for example, you could exaggerate,
hmm
okay? And then you could over exaggerate. And you
even
could be
more.
overwhelmed, but you can't be whelmed.
No, you can't.
It's
Yeah,
impossible.
yeah. And one of the things that I kept mentioning this week to all my students was that I was afraid that trying to do Florence and Rome tourists, like we saw so many things, and with my parents, and we mentioned the word a bit of an overreach. When you reach too high, when you aim for too many things. According to the internet, it's extralimitarse. And I've used this word a lot this week because I felt it was a bit of an overreach to try to see. We went to the Uffizi Gallery, we went to see the Michelangelo's David, we went to the Colosseum, we went to the Vatican, we went to the Pantheon, we went to Praça Navona, we went to Trevi.
Okay, we get it, we get it, we get it, we get it.
All of that in just this short period of time.
So we overreach.
Maybe we overreached. And one of my favorite words using over as a prefix is I overdid it. Me passé. Maybe I overdid it when I planned all these things for just one day. So it's when you plan too many things and you do too many things. And another example of overdoing it, Jack, is imagine you have a dinner with friends, you have four friends coming over, and you make a paella, and you cook a moussaka, and you make a barbecue, and you make two different types of cake just for four people. Maybe I would say, Jack, you overdid it.
I think it's more likely that you would overdo it in that case. But
Let's not talk about that.
that is, right, this brings me on to, let's not quibble,
No,
Krystallo. To quibble, this is my word of the day, shall we
go
say.
ahead.
I don't know if you know this, listeners, viewers, to quibble is basically to argue or complain about something small. But this is the point, this is the important thing, Krystallo. If I say let's not quibble because it's small, it's unimportant, it's a little details, right?
It's not
Let's
let's not
not
argue. It's not
Yeah, it's not. I mean, let's not like yes, yeah, probably discutir, but let's not
quibble
focus on the minor things. Let's focus on the big picture. Okay, so it could be a verb. He always quibbles, or Cristallo, I have a little quibble about your proposal.
about. Fantastic.
So you could say it both ways. Related things like nitpick, you might say to nitpick. It's like or Cristallo, rizar el rizo.
Oh, What's it to? Oh, wait, eso is to split hairs.
Split hairs. Absolutely. Let's not split hairs, like let's not argue over the fine distinctions. And one more that's sort of like in the same theme is to get bogged down in the details. Okay? To get bogged down. Bog, I think, is a ciénaga or fangal, some marshy, horrible place. If you get bogged down, you can't make movement, right? You can't progress. You
Mm-hmm.
can't avanzar with your whatever, your project. So let's not get bogged down, Krystallo. Let's move on.
Yep. And my next one. Now, this is one of my favorite false friends to teach. There. Yes, because this actually, it's an interesting one because pretender and pretend, even though they sound the same, mean totally different things and they change the meaning of a sentence. So, for example, if you say, pretendimos ver, I don't know, 2 museums in one day, in English, you don't say we pretended to see 2 museums in one day because that would mean fingimos que vimos two museums
Yeah.
in one day, which is not the case. What you would say instead is that you aimed or you planned or you intended to see 2 museums in one day.
Or you hope.
Or you hoped, yes. I like more aim because it's something that you have a plan and you're aiming for it, but whether it happened or not is a different story. But that's what your goal was. So
But
when you,
sorry, can I just jump in?
yeah,
Because you do have this, like in history, there have been like princes called like the pretenders. And in this case, it's like, I think it's like the same root, right? Like they are the hopeful ones, as you say.
mhm,
They want to be the king. They are, with the aim
aim
of.
at, yes.
Exactly.
But be very, very careful because when you pretend to do something, it means that it's not true. It means that you gave the impression that you did something, but you never did. You fingiste. Exactly. That's one of the words that came up today. Actually, I love this distinction.
Don't
Any other
pretend.
ones, Jack, for you?
Yeah, two more. I thought you'd like this one. I think I said it when we when we were in Italy. To get fleeced, super high level. To get fleeced, Cristalla, what does this mean?
It's a synonym of get ripped off, really.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. So to get ripped off, to get fleeced, basically to be paying too much for something, to be overcharged, to be
To be
cheated, to be
overcharged,
tricked.
yes. When
There you
something
go, like another one, overcharged
or when something is overpriced. I love it.
or underpriced. I got to see the Colosseum for free.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes. Yes. But if you have
I've
to
had
pay
that.
20 euro to go in to see the Trevi Fountain, that's slightly overpriced.
20.
No, I think it's only two, but now you have to pay.
Okay, anyway.
But anyway, that would be anyway.
But if you were taking like 1,000 Instagram photos and everything, €2 is you pay it.
Yeah,
If that was your thing,
yeah,
Crystal, obviously it's
of
not.
course, of course.
But anyway, to get fleeced, to be taken advantage of financially. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you could say
Timado,
the
no?
verb as well. Like you could say it like our taxi driver fleeced us, or we got fleeced by the taxi driver.
Exactly. I think, well, timado, if I'm not mistaken.
Timar, yeah, it's like an estafa, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, my next expression has nothing to do with what we've talked about before, but I love it because I give it to quite a few students. It's like saying karma. That's what you say. It means karma, okay? And it's what goes around comes around, which according to this is like todo vuelve. But I like the English version more because what it's saying is like what goes around comes around. So be careful what you say or do to people because what goes around comes around. Karma.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Goes
yours,
around,
Jack?
comes around. There's another one. What goes around comes around. Yeah, as there's loads. But yeah. Last one. Hair stand on end.
Yeah, is not piel de gallina the same? Or is not
Well, it's like that's like what was it, goosebumps, isn't
Yes,
it? It's
exactly.
slightly different, but
Mm.
so it made my hair stand on end. It gave me goosebumps. I mean, I think there's a few other ones, but yeah, pelos de punta, basically. I think you can say used for fear, shock, powerful emotion.
Powerful emotions, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it, Cristano.
That is it.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for
Wishing
you.
you a lovely weekend. Thank
And
you very much for watching us. If you've seen us, or if you've been watching,
don't forget to like and subscribe.
please
And
like and subscribe. If you're
you,
not subscribed, come join.
you can find the link to the newsletter in the description below. so that you can get to read all of the things that we talk about in advance, be the first ones to get these glimpses of information before we record it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Jack. Until
Thank you
next
very
time.
much, Krystallo, and I will see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.